Hello, everybody. Welcome to Fall River Media News. I'm your host, Dave Bean from Fall River Media. Well, the reason why I'm coming on tonight, I'm going to do a show tomorrow morning. Right now, I want to do a show by myself. And I just want to, go over a few things that that I have. I want to show some pictures of the cotton mill. Yeah, so I want to show some pictures of the cotton mill and other pictures of uh, of places that we um, like businesses that we had before. So let me go to Facebook. Hold on a second. So I'm gonna do it by myself tonight. This by myself. So I'm gonna go to Facebook. Let me see here. Let's see. See. So I'm gonna go to Facebook and I'm gonna grab some stuff here. Uh, well, I'm gonna do this one first. Um, uh, this one's more efficient right here. So I'm gonna actually do this one first and see here. Hold on. There it is. Yeah. If anybody remembers, back in the day, I mean, my father told me a story about SealSac company that he used to work for um, a long time ago, and and today I decided to look it up, and I was like, wow, my mom, my dad told me a story about where he used to work at, and so today I decided that I was going to look it up, and so I end up looking it up, and this is what I found. Okay, um, Sailsack company, they used to do the beans at one point, and my father, you know, used to work for this company for many years. Ever since we were babies, growing up. The paid rate was $2 an hour at the time, and and my father, you know, made good money at that point. So it was like $2 an hour. $2 an hour. That was the basically the minimum wage at that point. So anyway, um, my dad, didn't tell me. Well, they used to make beans. There's the machine right there. Let me see here. Hold on. Let me pull this up a little bit more so I can show it to. Well, that's the machine where they used to take. They put the bags underneath, and the beans used to come out uh, from the machines into the bags, and those bags used to get shipped out to farmers, like farmers, um, you know, um, that grow crop and everything. So that's what that is. My dad, we didn't, we basically didn't really get into, the details of what it was, but he actually told me that And then one day, um, you know, and during the holidays, my dad used to always tell me, well, I used to my mom always used to tell my dad, well, why don't you ask your boss for a raise? I'm saying, because the company was basically doing so well. Back then, that's what my father used to tell us all the time. So the company was doing so well, and so with that being said, my father went to go ask for a raise, and so my father went to go ask the boss for a raise. And so the boss says, okay. So boss says, well, how much you getting now? You know what I'm saying? So he says, well, I'm getting $2 an hour. You know what I'm saying? He says, look, he says, the best thing I can do is give you another dollar, so make it $3 an hour. So my father was taking home a little bit more than he expected, you know, um, back then. So the sales sack company brought in a lot of business, a lot of jobs back then. They have, and and I wish we can, establish at least establish something like this. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you know, um, bring some of this industry back. So that was my purpose why I wanted to come on today. So I could talk about this company. Okay, this company is a really great company. This company brought but this company here brought in a lot of jobs for people. You know what I'm saying? Um, Sales sack company. Um, Now you can see the machines right there. Those machines right there. Uh, and the bags right there. You put the bags underneath that machine, and the machine, they spit out the beans into the bags. And hey, Corey Reynolds, so the beans come out of that machine, those machines, and go right into the bags. You put the bags basically, right underneath the machines, and you ship these things out to a farmer. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's what you do. You ship this out to a farmer. And so I hope what we can do later. Uh, you know, it's yeah, and I mean, I felt like that we needed to talk about this more than politics right now, because we need to think about, okay, we need to think about this, okay, what's good for our city? What do we need for our city? Okay, what do we need? Okay, okay, we need companies like Salsac, okay, companies that imports beans and stuff to farmers, right? So this is what we need, okay, and if we can get actually something like this back here in our city, that would be awesome. Because you want to know why? Because this this company will this company will produce jobs. Okay, jobs. Okay, this will bring in a lot of jobs. But this is not the only company right here that um, I'm going to be talking about. Okay, I have another one that I really want to share with you. Okay, so with all that being said, I think right now we should be focusing on what's good for our city. Okay. What is good for our city? Companies like this. Okay. Um, Industries. Okay. That's going to produce, that's going to boost the economy. Okay. I always said, my father always said that the SealSat company was one of the greatest companies that my dad could ever work for. Okay. My dad spent a lot of time with this company for almost 40 years. Okay. A lot of time. Okay. Uh, for what the money he was getting, my dad always thought that, the guy the person that owned SealSat company treated my dad awesome. Okay. And let me tell you something. And this is what we want to do right now. We want to, you know, talk about companies like this. Okay. We want to give people the benefit of the doubt to say, hey, you know what? This is a great idea. You know what I'm saying? This is an awesome idea. Wow. Companies like this could build big, uh, could could boost the economy. Okay. Companies like this. All we have to do is we got to push for it. That's what we got to do. So I'm going to take this one out and I'm going to talk about the next one. So let's see here. So I'm going to talk about the next one that we have, and it's coming up. So this one, let's take a screenshot. Share screen. There it is. So we're gonna share screens here, and we're gonna take a look at all this stuff. Everyone knows what this is. Okay. Okay. This is the cotton mill. If anybody knows what that is behind, well, cotton mill. I mean, this cotton mill right here, um, made made a lot of money. Okay, this cotton mill. Okay, um, and let me tell you something. This here too also boosts the economy up too. This cotton mill. Look at the big stretches and the wall of yarn that they have here. Okay, you know, companies like this could boost the economy right up. Companies like this will make this this city a lot of money. Okay, make this place a lot of money. Okay, if you got companies like this back here, the cotton mill, believe it or not, this will make a lot of money. There's no ifs and bits and buts about it. I mean, if we thought about working hard enough and getting companies like this in here, this would be awesome. Okay, this would be awesome. This company, the economy here will boost right to the top. Okay, and let me tell you something. And just like SealSac, okay, just like SealSac, okay, the cotton mill will boost the whole entire economy right up again. Okay, all right. I mean, this is things that you know we should be thinking about. Okay, um, not what the politicians do. Okay, not what the politicians do, but this is the things that we should be thinking about right here. We should be thinking about how how can we boost our economy? How can we make our economy better? Okay. This is the things that we should be thinking about. We shouldn't even be thinking about, well, politicians this and politicians that. We should be thinking about what can we do to help our economy, because right now our economy is bad. Okay, our economy is bad, and I've talking about this for several times. Okay, you know, just like sales sack, I just got done talking about. Now I'm talking about the cotton mill. Between them companies, right? Between them two companies, this economy will be amazing. Okay, all right. We probably would have so much money, okay, that we probably don't know what to do with it. Okay, so again, I don't want to make the politicians' heads big. I just want to, you know, let people know that this is what we should be talking about. Okay, politicians, we shouldn't be, politicians are going to do what politicians do best. You know what I'm saying? But we should be talking about positive stuff. Okay, we should be talking about things that that matters to our community. Okay, things that matter. Okay, like job growth. Okay, things like this. Okay, this is what we should be talking about. Okay, and I think this right here, this cotton mill, it'd be an excellent choice, just like seal sack. Okay, excellent choice. This is what they should be focusing on. Okay, right here. Okay, focusing on this instead of focusing on other stuff like market rate housing or uh, building small bringing other things in here. We should be focusing on something like this right here. Okay, we should be focusing on the cotton mill. Okay, cotton mills bring in jobs. Okay, and something, our job growth will be right up there. Okay, and something, our community, okay, will have a good economy. Okay, and there'd be a lot of jobs for everybody to work. Okay, even working part time, even working full time, even work 50, 60 hours a week. Okay, right? We don't have that here. Okay, we hardly have that here. That's why we see a lot of people stealing, a lot of people robbing other people because the job growth here is no good. Okay, that's why we have to get companies like this to come back here and say, "Hey, look, you know what? This is what's going to happen." Okay, we're going to get companies like this to come back here, and and we're going to make our economy great again. Okay, so this is what we have to do. Okay, and you know, I mean, this will be great. You know what I'm saying, this would be nice. Okay, having something like this. Okay, you know, if the politicians would focus on so much with the cotton mills, because this is important right here. Okay, this and public safety, job growth, and stuff. This is all important right here. If we talked about this a lot, okay, you're gonna get these politicians thinking and saying, "Wow, something. Maybe that's not a bad idea after all." You know what I'm saying? Maybe we have something there. Okay, you know, cotton mills. Okay, uh, I mean, this would bring in a lot of money. Okay, and once this starts bringing in a lot of money, okay, then I mean we can hire more police officers. We can fix up the fire station. We can actually do more. And also we can actually do more. We can actually give. people jobs, okay? But we have to work on this right here, okay? Okay, people will actually be busy. They'll have jobs. Their families will have jobs. People, you know, companies like this and full-time jobs working for 50, 60 hours a week, okay, people wouldn't have time to go out there and get in trouble because you want to know why? Because they would be so busy working and they will not have time for themselves. Just for working, taking care of their family, going out to eat, doing all kinds of stuff, getting up in the morning, going to work again. The people won't have they won't have time to get in trouble. Okay, they won't have time to go anywhere. Okay, because they'd be working, and this is what we need right here. So I'm going to. I think I already took a picture of that, but let's see here. Um, I just want to actually show people what what I dug up and 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 what should be done. So all right, so I didn't take a picture of that, so I'm going to grab a picture of that right now. And that's why I really want to show this because I think this is cool. You know what I'm saying? You know, you know, this is really cool. And I got another thing to show you. So I'm gonna do this one, and I'm going to go back to Facebook. I have another one to show you. I'm going to go on it right now. I already showed you that one. Let's see, I showed you that one. Okay, this is the one I want to show you right here. Okay, hold on. Let's see. All right, see this one right here? This one here is the curtain factory. Okay, right here. This is the curtain factory. And let me tell you something about the curtain factory. My grandmother, my grandmother and my aunt, okay, used to work in a curtain factory, okay, down at Union Street Mills back in the day. My grandmother, my aunt used to walk to work every single day, okay, and that's from 6 o'clock in the morning until about maybe, I say about 9:30 at night. She used to walk back home. My aunt and my grandmother used to work 60 hours, 60 hours a week. Okay. Just to pay the rent, buy the food, and, 60 hours a week. And let me tell you something 60 hours a week is a lot. Okay. And, of course, back in those days, I used to live with my grandmother, and and every day she'd go to work every single day, whether Mondays through Fridays, Saturdays. Okay, her and my aunt, and this is what they used to do: sew, make curtains. Okay, beautiful curtains. For the stores and stuff, so they can put them on a display and show it to them. My grandmother used to work in a place like that. And let me tell you something, okay? Working at least 60 hours a day, believe me, it wasn't easy. back then. Okay, because my aunt had, okay, had, okay, a you know a house to pay, okay, mortgage. And let me tell you something. Now, I showed you seal sack. I showed you the cotton mill, right? Now I'm going to show you the curtain factory. These three businesses that I've showed you so far, okay, these are the businesses that will that will boost these economies up, that will make the job growth go higher, okay? So this is what it is right here. I mean, is if we can get the politicians to talk about this instead of talking about other things, okay, we can actually get them to focus on this, okay, because this is what we need right here. Business like this. This is what we need, okay. You know, there's no other way, okay. All right, and I've been saying this for many years. Okay, there's no other way to build this economy. Okay, the only way you're going to build this economy is to get business like this in here. Okay, talk about business like this. This is the only way you're going to boost this economy. You can't boost this economy based on market rate housing, based on raising taxes. You can't do that. Okay, you cannot. You cannot build an economy like that. Okay, you can't. All right. This is the only way you can build an economy. Okay, current factory. Okay, hire people to like this. The the cotton factory, cotton mills. Um, and you know these are those three these three here, them are the ones that you can, okay, we'll build this whole economy straight up. But I mean, i I can only talk about it, uh, but there is people out there can share this, okay, share this situation, share this thing, you know and say, hey, look, hey, we got some good ideas over here. Why can't we? Why can't we have this? You know what I'm saying, to boost the economy up. Why is it always we have to have? Um, why always we have to have um, like other things? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, why? You know, but and I'm sorry, guys. Annalise will be on tomorrow night. So Annalise will be on tomorrow night. I basically just wanted to come on today and show you guys what we really need, and what the politicians should be really talking about. Okay, is business like this. Okay, instead of taking our mills, okay, and making them out of apartments, right? They should be talking about business like this. They should be searching for something like this. Okay. The cotton mill, right? Yeah. So they should be searching for something like this. Okay. I mean, it's out there. You know what I'm saying? This is what the proposals should be. Okay. But they don't want to do that. Okay. They know that the current factories are out there. They know that, but they don't want to do it. So if people like us in the community stand up for what we believe in and show the politicians that, hey, you know what? This right here, the cotton factory can boost that that can boost job growth here in our city. Okay. We can have what these here, the cotton mill, and we can have this. Okay. We can have this. If you all if you all if we all got together and said, look, you know something, we have to push these politicians, okay, to look into all this stuff. Okay. Politicians know that it's out there. They know this stuff is out there. Seal sack, cotton mill, current factory, they know this stuff is out there. But they're not gonna push this stuff in here. They're gonna say, well, we ain't got the money for this, we ain't got the money for that. You know what I'm saying? But if we all got together and say, hey, look, you know what? We're gonna make the politicians do this, okay? Because they know what's out there. You don't think Governor Healy knows this is out there? Of course she does. Okay, they know it's out there, but they're not gonna push this stuff in here. Okay, they're not. Okay, they will not push this kind of stuff in here. We want it because we know the cotton factory and the curtain factory, and we know it's going to help. Okay, we already know this is going to help. Okay, so we already know this stuff is going to help us. You know what I'm saying? And with the job growth and stuff. So but anyways, um, with the seal sack, the current factory, the cotton field, this stuff will help. But the politicians know that, okay? And people are afraid to say, "Hey, look, we need to get business like this in here." So I'm going to be the one that's going to push this, okay? I'm going to push this right into their lap, the politicians' laps. Of course, I'm going to do it. So you keep mentioning it and say, "Hey, look, you know what? We need to focus on this: the curtain factory, the cotton factory, and the we need to focus on these. Okay, we need to focus on this. This is what's going to help, and this is and you know what? And this is what's going to help the economy. We need to focus on this. It's easy to focus on something like this than trying to put other things in here. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got to say. I mean, um, you know, we can actually talk about this, and have a business like this in here. Like the the, the curtain factory, cotton field, seal sack, things like this will help the economy. Okay, and and we can we can uh, and we also can have, and then we will have the money for the police, for the fire, and everything. Okay, we would have more police, we would have more fire, because something, with the cotton field and with the cotton mill and the curtain factory and the seal sack company. Believe me, you'll see that this place has more jobs than you can ever have. Okay. Okay. Politicians know that. Okay. Okay. Politicians know that. But you know something? But we, the people, we have to push this. Okay. We have to continue on pushing all this. If we can keep pushing it, let's focus on the positive instead of focusing on the negative. Okay. Because like my grandmother always said, the more you call a politician names and the more that you put them down, the less that they're gonna do. So you know what? Let's look for business like this, like I did, okay? And let's push this out there, okay? And the more we can push a business out there, the better it would be. So I mean, that's all I have to say for now on. For now, so you know, my grandmother used to work in the current factory, and between the cotton factory, the cotton mill, the current outlet, the current factory, um, and the seal sack, I would love to see all that stuff come back here because you want to know why? We would have the best economy in the world. Okay, the best. Okay, we can hire more police. We can hire more firefighters. We wouldn't have to depend on, bills that we have to get. You know what I'm saying? There it is, right in front of your face. Okay, right here. The cotton mill that I showed you, and the seal sack company. It's all right here in front of you. Okay, it's all right here in front of the politician's face. Okay, so what we got to do is we have to push this out there. Okay, that's what we have to do. And the more we push this out there, the more we're going to get. We're going to be getting these politicians thinking, saying, "Wow, maybe is this the answer to this? Is this what we need? Uh, you know, uh, a business like this, to come in here, a current factory, a cotton factory, and a seal sack company that delivered the beans to the farmers. Yeah, this is what we need. This is actually what we need. Okay, this is what we need. This not the notes, but right here. This is what we need. Okay, and if we can keep pushing this out, I'm not even going to think about anything else. I want to push businesses into here. I want to push this right onto the politicians and say, hey, look, you know something? This is what we need. Okay. This will make our job growth higher. Okay. This will do it. Okay. This and the cotton field and this and the cotton factory. Okay. Right. This will help us. Okay. This will save our economy. Right here. You know? And let me tell you something. That's the best you're gonna get. Okay. No, it is. This is this is basically the best you're gonna get. This, the cotton field, the cotton factory, and Seal Sack. Okay, company. Okay. You know, I'm gonna start looking around and I'm gonna start, pushing businesses right onto the politicians' laps. I mean, good businesses. Okay, you know, um, I want to use my show for this too. You know what I'm saying? Good business. You know what I'm saying? Pushing businesses right onto the politicians' laps. You know what? Because Massachusetts, okay, the job growth over here is no good. Okay, unless we get something like this. The current factory, sale sack company that produces beans where we can ship it to farmers, and the cotton factory. These are the three that will boost the economy. These are the three. So if we can get more good business like this to come here, let's stop pushing this stuff right onto the politicians' lap. You know, nothing else matters. Okay, what matters is that our economy needs to be boosted. Our job growth here needs to be up there. Okay, you know what the job growth here is? Zero, nothing. Okay, uh, but if we can get stuff like that in here, believe it or not, now we're talking. Okay, now we're talking job growth. Now we're talking. Now we're talking job growth. Now we're going to be talking. Hey, you know what? We're going to be we're going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? Now we can hire more firefighters, more police officers, and we can do all of that. Okay, we can do all of that. Okay, because with everybody's taxes, mine, yours, and everybody that works, we can make this happen. Okay, we can make this happen. If everybody got together, yeah, we can make this happen because this would be the best thing that we can do for Fall River, for Massachusetts. Okay, best thing. You know, having these little stores open, uh, we need stuff like this. Current factories. Um, yeah, we need current factories. We need, you know, sales sack company. We need, uh, you know, um, cotton factory. This is stuff that we need. You know what I'm saying? You know, you guys could talk it over to other people. You know what I'm saying? Talk it over to other people. You know what I'm saying? Say, hey, look, hey, I was listening to Fall River Media News, and wow, he come out. He's got some great ideas with the cotton factory, uh, with the current factory, uh, sales sack company that produces beans. That you can ship those out to farmers and stuff like that. Believe it or not, it works. It does work. And you know something? You know, it does work. David, businesses ain't by using people to grow. Well, we can let me see that. I mean, we need people to work in these factories, you know what I'm saying? So we do need people to work in the factories, of course. Yeah, I mean, you know, um, the work in the factories to grow. You know what I'm saying? You know, and and even and even the con factory too. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. You know what I'm saying? We could also use people in a cotton factory. To work. We could also people in a seal sack. A seal sack company that produces beans and stuff from the machines and ship them out to farmers. Of course, yeah. I mean, you know, I mean, this is what we need. This is basically what we need. Okay, this would make the economy grow. Okay, if we keep on producing big business like this, big mills, machinery. Uh, I mean, I remember having Quaker. Okay, matter of fact, I worked at one of them, and and plus I was a security guard at the other one, the small one, where uh, I used to work at the small one, before they went overseas. You know, when we have companies like this here, I mean, we got to bring these companies back. These companies have to come back. We have to, talk about companies. You know what I'm saying? We have to because the economy is going down the tubes over here. We have to. It's going down the tubes. You know, and not only look out for ourselves, we have to look out for our kids, our grandkids. You know what I'm saying? We have to look out for them, and this is what we have to do. Okay, we cannot give up. Okay, just because other people do give up out there, and they give up because they're losers. So that's besides the point. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm not going to give up. Okay, I'm going to talk about this. Talk about business, and I'll probably talk about it tomorrow too. Also, um, with Annalisa. But we have to. There's no ifs and buts about it because I saw a lady the other day. Um, she went into Stop and Shop and she got boxes. And I said to her, I says, "Ma'am, are you moving out of Fall River?" She goes, "Oh yeah." She says, "I'm moving out of Fall River." Of course. She says, "What's here?" You know what I'm saying? I said, "You got a point." I said, "I'm not going to argue with that one." You know what I'm saying? She said, "The job growth here is no good." Okay. She said, "The politicians here suck." Okay. That's what she said. Okay. And, you know, and she said, "There's no jobs here at all. The houses are way too high over here. Taxes rose. Um, Taxes went up again." Okay. She said, my water bill went up. My The rainwater fee uh, that they use when it rains out. Okay, the rainwater fee. So, like I told you, people are moving out of Fall River, and there ain't gonna. It's something. Once everyone moves out, there's not gonna be nothing left. Okay, Fall River is gonna be like a ghost town unless people like us we step up to the plate. We have to step up to the plate. We got to keep on trying. We have to. We cannot give up because you give up, then you're not only failing yourself, you're failing your grandkids, you're failing your kids when they have them, and your guys are only hurting yourselves. Okay, we have to step up to the plate. Okay, and as taxpayers, that's what we have to do. You know, you're only yeah. I mean, it is. It is. I mean, we cannot afford our community to fall like this. Okay, we can't afford this. You know what I'm saying? So we have to do what's best. We have to do what's best for our community and what's best for our grandkids and our future kids grandkids. We have to do what's best for them because this right here, the cotton mill and the the cotton mill and the and we have to do what's best. That's all I have to say. I mean, it's I don't know about you guys, but you guys got to step up to the plate. I mean, because the economy is falling. You know what I'm saying? It's dropping. Um, and and then inflation is growing here. So, and the more you guys don't do anything and don't step up to the plate, like I said, hey, yeah, you're only actually hurting yourself, your grandkids. Okay, that's what you're doing. Okay, no question. And if you don't stand up for your grandkids and your future grandkids and stand up for yourself, then you're part of the problem. Okay, you're part of the problem. Okay, that means you show me that you don't care about your city and the place that you live in. Okay, the reason why I stand up for my community is because I love where I live. Honestly, I do. I love where I live. You know, I love where I live. And you know something? I don't care how old I am. I'm going to still fight for what I believe in. I'm still going to fight for my grandkids. I'm going to fight for my grandkids' kids. I'm going to still fight for. Whether you're involved or not, because I'm going to show you that I'm going to let my grandkids know that I care. I want them to tell everybody. My grandfather cares about our city, okay, about a place where we live, and and one day my grandkids are going to ask questions and say, hey, wow, my grandfather did a lot, okay. He stuck up for us. He did this for us. He did that for us. He made a good home in Massachusetts. He stuck up for us. And you know something? And that's a good thing to hear. You know what I'm saying? I mean, do you really want your grandkids to go to you and say, hey, how come you didn't fight for us? You know what I'm saying? How come you didn't do this? You know what I'm saying? You want to feel good about yourself. You want your grandkids to say, hey, uh, Grandpa, thank you for fighting for us. You want that in your life. Okay? You got to show them that you really care about this community and a place that you live that calls home. Okay? Don't mind what anybody else says. Do what you do is best for your family, for your grandkids, and everybody, and the people that you care about. But like I said, cotton milk, curtain factory, that should work. Sales tax companies, those three companies would boost. We would have the best job growth here. There's no other way. This is the way right here. And let me tell you something. I hope to God, any politician, I don't care where you're from, I don't care if you're from Washington, D.C., I hope you're listening. And I hope you take this under consideration because this is, we're crashing, okay? This whole economy is crashing, okay? It's crashing and it's crashing bad, okay? You know, whether you care or not, but even if you don't care, I'm not going to stop caring, okay? I'm going to do what's best okay, you know, for this economy. I'm going to do what's best to have job growth, okay? I'm going to make this community strong. That's what I'm going to do. So, with that being said, I'm going to probably find something else a little bit more to talk about. So I'm going to get rid of this thing right now. I don't know if I took a picture of it. I think I did. Well, let's take a look. And maybe let's take a look at it. Let's erase this. Let's erase this. Okay, so I gotta put these up later. So I have to take a picture of this one. Let's see. So I mean, it's so I'm going to move on to something else. So I'm going to move on to something else, and I'm going to go to Facebook again and see what. Actually, no, we'll go to YouTube and check out some stuff and see what videos I can get on YouTube. Let's see, what do we got here? So YouTube. YouTube. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I think I saw that one already. Oh.
Massey and Khanna, Representative Green, all of those who have insisted upon bringing the truth forward and a reckoning with the reality of one of the worst international child sex trafficking rings ever to exist in the United States and the cover-up attendant to it. We've got the opportunity today to do justice for the victims, for the survivors who have come forward to say that the voice of the victims and the survivors must be put at the very center of our deliberations, not shunted off to the side, not submerged, not subordinated, but put at the very center. We must hear from the people who themselves were victimized by this nightmare. Now, our colleagues across the aisle seem to want to make this into some sort of partisan contest. I haven't heard so much talk about the Democrats since the Democratic National Convention. And all that we've done here is to say we want to bring the truth forward. Along with a bipartisan group, we don't want the Senate monkeying around with this in order to slow things down. We want it passed in the Senate. We want it signed. And before that, if the president is true to his word and he wants to see all of this come to light, he can release it now instead of fighting, kicking, and screaming every step along the way. But I'm glad he's changed his mind, and I hope he maintains the momentum he's got to stick with the vast majority of the American people who want to see that the truth is done here. And while he's at it, the administration could reconsider their terrible policies gutting federal offices and programs designed to combat violence against women. The DOJ terminated hundreds of grants to police departments, defunding the police when it comes to investigating violent sex crimes, and to support victims. His Doge destroyed programs to combat international human trafficking rings. Let's get back on the side of the women. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. The gentleman from Ohio.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Speaker Johnson said it right. Why now after 4 years of doing nothing? Because going after President Trump is an obsession with these guys. Best example is John Brennan testified in front of our committee under oath, said he was not involved with the dossier. Only problem is Tulsi Gabbard declassified a report, released that report, and it said exactly the opposite. And she related a story in there where a CIA official went up to Mr. Brennan and said, we shouldn't include this in the report. And John Brennan's response was, yeah, but doesn't it ring true? Forget the facts, forget the truth, go after Trump, put it in. Same dynamic at work here. We're all for protecting innocent victims. We're all for exposing the bad guys who did bad things. But this is an obsession with the left. For 10 years, it's going after President Trump. So vote yes. Make sure the bad guys are held accountable. We all want to do that. Speaker Johnson's right. I think it's going to be unanimous. But understand what they're doing, because they had 4 years and didn't do a darn thing. With that, I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. The question is, will the House suspend the rules and pass the bill H.R. 4405? Those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. In the opinion of the chair, two-thirds being in the affirmative, the rules are suspended. The bill is passed. And without
Can I request a
objection,
recorded vote, Mr.
the
Speaker?
gentleman from Maryland is recognized.
Yeah, I'm requesting a recorded vote.
The gentleman from Maryland has requested a recorded vote. Those favoring a recorded vote will rise. A sufficient number having risen, a recorded vote is ordered. Members will record their votes by electronic device. Pursuant to Clause 9 of Rule 20, this 15-minute vote on the motion to suspend the rules will be followed by 5-minute votes on ordering the previous question on House Resolution 879, adoption of House Resolution 879 if ordered, and adoption of House Resolution 878. This is a 15-minute vote.
Oh, 15-minute vote. About the Epstein case. Oh. Nope. Yeah, that's something with the Epstein case. Oh, they demand the arrest of a police officer. This is about the Senate, that they're hoping that they pass the bill, for the victims from the Jeffrey Epstein case. That's what this is about. Trump wants everybody to do the right thing. That's what Trump wants. Trump wants this investigation done himself. So people don't agree. I don't care if they did or not, but Trump wants this investigation done himself. Now we'll know who's on a Jeffrey Epstein list. Once they pass this, we'll know. We'll know for sure who's on it. Wow. This is a mess. That's what I say. This is about the Jeffrey Epstein case. This is a big case. Well, let me see here. It's 8:33. I'm gonna shut that down. So I'm gonna go back to Facebook here a bit. Let's see. I'm gonna go here. Create a new tab. Go to Facebook. Yeah, he did. Let's see here. Let's shut down the stream. Go to Facebook here. Yeah, Facebook.